I'm opening up the energy field. Big transformation is a theme in the collective right now. Big changes. It's also looking like big lifestyle changes as well. And spiritual change. I'm expanding the energy field. So expanding it in all directions, making space. Expanding the space between thoughts. Loosening the mental realm. Unknotting any tight energies. And making the field feel a little more vast. I'm going straight to the heart center because it's calling my attention or pulling my attention. I'm opening up the heart chakra. Bringing light to the heart. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. There's been a lot of strain on the heart chakra within the collective. It looks like over the last couple of weeks or maybe months. So I'm going to begin to clear density in the heart. This should feel lighter in the chest. There's also an emotional release, a little bit of suppression in the heart. So I'm just clearing that as well. A lot of people being very brave amidst changing circumstances, big spiritual upgrade. Yeah, the heart just kind of feels like it's holding on a little bit, like things are a little bit rough and it's just, it's a bit clenched. So I'm just going to relax the heart center. Bring more light to the heart. A lot of little emotional waves that are coming up as I work here. Not enough to form a full emotional response, just a slight lifting of an emotion and then it calms down again. I'm expanding the heart further, creating more space. Interesting. This transmission feels a bit different to normal. We're going for a deep type of healing here. because I can basically feel there's a slight difference in quality. Normally when I'm doing this type of clearing, it feels like it's preparatory, so like I'm preparing for the base transmission. And then I can normally feel the base transmission kind of in the background, but it feels like today is going to be different. Like the base transmission is going to facilitate the clearing or the healing, but on like a deeper level. Okay, yeah, so things are making more sense now. So I'm going to bring the base transmission in straight away, where I would normally bring it in later, because it wants to help clear on a very deep level. Looks like we're clearing traumatic imprints. And it also looks like we're working on a big time span. So my previous video spoke on a big collective upgrade. And with a big collective upgrade comes a shedding, a very big shedding of all the energies of the previous phase. And when I opened the energy body just now, it just felt like the heart was strained, and this is like indicative of a holding of a type of trauma. And so it looks like what we're going to be doing is clearing the trauma, or doing a deep healing of the phase that just passed, so that we can more effortlessly step into what's coming. So in a cool way, it kind of ties to my previous one. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to bring in the base transmission now. Very, very, very strong. Okay, so it's flowing to you as of now. Yeah, we're doing a deep, almost cellular level healing. Okay, I'm going to start around the head region. So I'm opening up the third eye and the crown chakras. There's a lot of like, you know, the type of thought you get when you're like at capacity and you can't really handle it anymore, and you're kind of begging for things to change. These types of thoughts, and I'm just going to clear them using my base transmission. Because these thoughts are often indicative of a phase coming to an end, because we only get given that which we have capacity to hold. And normally when we reach that capacity and when we really start feeling like this is really bad and we cannot go on, that is actually normally when the tide has to change. So I can just see the residues of these thoughts, and they're very distressing. Like when the being reaches that level, so clearing that. The phase that just passed held a lot of struggle, but it also held a lot of growth. It's the phase that got us to what we're entering into now, which is a massive expansion. And for this massive expansion to happen, we must have been through a lot. Not to say that we need to go through difficulty to grow, but it's one of the telltale signs that growth is happening. Bring light to the mind. The base frequency today is that of deep healing. It's got to focus on trauma as well, like very dense energies. And that's, I guess, why my heart felt so heavy as soon as I opened the channel. So right now we're clearing trauma and karmic imprint from the mind, the third eye and the crown chakras. Interesting. It's also showing me that this trauma clearing session will also naturally yield a type of clarity. The only thing that's really holding us back, so to speak, from recognition of what we really are, or becoming one with the flow of life, or connecting to divinity, however you want to see that, are these contractions. So it's basically energetic density in the body. And the more we clear energetic density, the more we just effortlessly become connected to our divine nature. Because the energetic density, what it is basically a type of false assumption. We have residues held in the mind and the body of the belief that we are separate. So all the situations throughout our life in which we were made to feel separate from all that is, this is what trauma is. So by clearing this on each of these levels, as we move through the body, as we move through the chakras, there will be an effortless clarity that emerges. So I'm still clearing the mind here. A lot of confusion also, a lot of feeling lost. You know, when things get really rough, we begin to feel forsaken. Like, why is this happening to us? These are the thoughts that I'm seeing. Like, why is this happening to me? How did things get like this? Why can't things change? And now the tide is turning, so that's why these thoughts are being cleared. Bring in stillness of mind. Also, just so that mind doesn't try to grab any of the things that we heal throughout the session. It doesn't try to latch onto meaning unless it's expansive. A lot of strain in the mind also. So I'm clearing this residue of strain and this confusion. And also the residue of the mind trying to figure out the phase that just passed, what it needs to learn. Yeah, it looks like it was very turbulent for many people. Also a reminder that you're never truly alone. Alright, making my way down to the throat chakra, opening the throat. Also the residue of being at capacity here, so I'm clearing that and bringing light. There's a type of loss of identity in the throat. I don't know if that makes sense. It feels like I don't even know who I am. I don't even know how to express. These are also traces, or like these are byproducts of being pushed to a type of breaking point. And it also ties to the confusion in the mind. We don't even know what we can say or do or how to express anymore. It also looks like different people have come out of this phase sooner than others. So there's a spectrum that's being shown. Some people are only coming out of it now. Some people are going to come out of it, and some people have already come out of it, this phase, this turbulence. So I'm clearing this in the throat, this like loss of identity, this like loss of, it's like, it really feels like I don't know what to say anymore. Almost literally, I don't even know what to say anymore. Things have just gotten to the point where I cannot handle it anymore, and there's nothing I can say that can express what I'm feeling. Clearing and bringing this healing to the throat. The base transmission really feels like it's healing on a molecular level. It's like it's going very deep into the chakras, and I can kind of feel like it's like doing a restructuring. There are slight little pops, like little healing releases. Just sitting here with this deep healing frequency on the throat. Shoulders are lighting up as well. I'm just going to bring the light to the shoulders too and clear the weight of responsibility off the shoulders. It weighs very heavily. Especially the right shoulder. So a lot of doing, like what can I do to change this? I need to action. What can I do? I can't do anything. Nothing I do is enough. It's very right side oriented, the masculine side, the doing side. Clearing. We're moving into a phase of like receptivity rather than action. So, life ebbs and flows and we go through phases. So we're going to be entering into a more energetic orientation. Moving with how things feel. Obviously doing as well, but it's not going to be the primary mode. So we're going for a more steady, more silent, more sacred, more receiving period. There's also an inward type of feeling to it. So coming back to oneself in some way. And all of you will have a different manifestation of this, but you'll begin to notice it more and more. Some of you will be coming back to the physicality, giving your body the nourishment that it needs. Some of you will be connecting more with what you truly are, coming back to yourself in the more non-dual sense, or the awakening sense. Some of you will be following your resonance more than what other people, institutions, or society says you should do. All of these are this part of this movement of the left side of the body that's going to be more active in this phase, rather than the strained right side, which is kind of exhausted at this point. It just wants to stop. It's so tired of moving. So just bringing this healing also to the right side of the body. Body's feeling a lot lighter and more whole as we move through this healing. So for this session, we're really trying to tend to those aspects that we don't often tend to. Okay, going down to the heart. I've already been here a little bit today, but I just want want to bring the base transmission in here as well. So I've already opened the heart chakra. So I'm just bringing this healing to it to see what comes forward for us. Again, heart strain, being pushed to capacity with nothing more left to give. Just going to gently clear this while the base frequency is transmitted to the heart. A lot of freeing up on the right side of the body. You might be able to feel it. It just feels like it might feel like a warmth or an expansion, but for me it feels like a rippling of energy through the right side. Finally relieving the right side of its duty, relieving the body of the duty of action. Action when it's already overwhelmed. Clearing the energy of giving up in the heart. When things get so difficult that the heart gives up, it gives up on healing. But like I said, these emotions are actually indications that things will soon change, or the tide will soon change. Just returning some peace to the heart. Bringing in renewal as well, renewal and healing. Very interesting. Amidst all of this, there's still within the heart a knowing, this quiet knowing that things are okay. The heart always takes the biggest knock in situations where our intuition that we're all one is overridden by something. Whether that something is our own beliefs or an action by another person. Because we hold this intuition that we're all connected. Because we know on a deep level, despite what the mind says and where you are in your path and awaken, not awaken, the heart knows. And then when something happens that contradicts that knowledge, or this deeper knowing, it really strains the heart. So whatever trauma we're working with, or imprint, or memory, or feeling, we're basically healing it from whatever kind of went over that intuition, whatever made the heart have to suffer a misbelief in separation over unity. The root is also coming online, some unsafety there, I'm just going to scan through the solar plexus and the sacral chakras. Solar plexus is that I can't take anymore. I can't take anymore. So I'm gonna open up the solar plexus and I'm gonna bring this healing to it now. Yeah, it's I can't take any more. Bracing in the stomach. Not being able to stomach any more of whatever's going on. It's rough out here on this planet sometimes. A lot of things happen that we're not used to. And I sometimes allude to this in a few of my other videos. I've said this. But this is not like our native home. For a lot of people who watch my videos, Earth is a temporary adventure. And so a lot of the stuff that happens here, we simply just don't understand. It doesn't sit well in the system. We can't digest it. So that's what's present in the solar plexus chakra. Also some energies of not being enough and things like that. But this also comes from the same thing. So it's like basically where whatever happens on Earth is so dense and thick and not aligned, we feel like we can't rise up to the expectation. We feel like we can't meet what this climate requires of us, and that's what creates like a type of inadequacy or feeling like we're not enough in the solar plexus, and this lack of confidence. And you'll know how this applies to you, like where you've been told you need to live up to a certain thing because, being here sets that standard and you can't. And it's not anything about your ability or the way that you are. It's just the fact that this is not your native climate. You're not meant to rise up to these things. You're meant to be exactly as you are. Accepted exactly as you are. And you are more than enough. I'm just talking to the solar plexus. Okay, going down to the sacral chakra. Opening up the sacral chakra. It's so funny, we get pushed to our limit because of the climate here, because Earth is so difficult. And then in our sacral, we feel this guilt for the way that we cope with this climate. So this guilt manifests differently for everyone. For some people, it will be the guilt that ties to an addiction, or the guilt that comes with behaving in a certain way. For some people, it'll be the guilt of not being able to handle anymore, not being spiritual enough. Guilt and shame. The guilt and shame that comes with being pushed to capacity by life. It's not even your fault. Body's trying to cope, it's trying to handle what's going on. So we clear the guilt and we clear the shame, and we bring the healing base transmission into the sacral chakra. And we bring acceptance. Deep healing like this will also alter the way that your body and mind cope with what's going on. When there's a lot of density in the body, the defense mechanisms and the coping strategies are very dense as well. And then as we alleviate the body of its heaviness, the less inclined the body and the mind are to use kind of more dense coping strategies and that lead to guilt and shame. There's also, interesting, I've never seen this before, like an overwhelming sense of responsibility in the sacral. I don't even know if this has ever correlated to the sacral chakra before, but it feels like it's all my fault. It's all on me. It's because I can't handle it. Me. Just going to clear that. Allow the mind to see more clearly that the body and the mind are just responding. They're responding to being at capacity. They're responding to unease. It's nobody's fault. And going to the root chakra. Opening up the root. Oh, interesting. There was an expanse there in the field. So there was a root tightness. Bringing light. Bringing the base transmission straight into the root chakra. Healing on molecular level. Clearing unsafety. When things rattle the being to such a degree as the phase that we just came out of, the root chakra takes a big hit. So clearing unsafety, instability. We're moving into a phase with a lot more stability. And you're going to notice this in your life. Certain habits are just going to become stable. Certain changes, like maybe something was fluctuating in life before, whether that be like your state of realization, maybe it like comes and goes, or maybe you don't feel quite settled in an area of your life. We're moving into a more settled time. So that's going to be a lot of healing for the root. There are some peripheral energies that are kind of being shed from the root, like anger and frustration, but these are not like core energies. They're as a result of being at capacity. So as a result of the being pushed to its absolute limit, like sometimes I will work on anger that emanates directly from the root, and it's not really, it's just kind of causeless and it can go toward any area. But this is very much related to like not being able to take anymore, and the frustration and the anger that comes with that. So I'm just going to facilitate that clearing as well. Okay, what I'm going to do now, before I end the session, is I'm just going to give a few minutes to the base transmission to just basically be transmitted throughout the entire field. And this is also what's going to just allow for that clarity that I spoke about, this natural clarity, natural oneness, and connection to divinity to emerge, or at least emerge a little bit more. So now we're just focusing on allowing the space in the body to become a messenger of clarity. Clarity of our connection to each other. Clarity of our connection to the divine, which is effortless and is not an intellectual knowing or an intellectual understanding. It's very much a felt sense, which comes through the most easily when the body is healed Energies are flowing and clear, and nothing's stuck. So we just allow this to inform us of what we are. And the mind may look for answers. What am I exactly? What word can I use? That's okay. Luckily, we don't need any words. Energy is enough. Such is the core of my teaching, really. Okay, I will now seal up the energy field. My hands are so heavy I can't even bring them forward to close. Thank you.